I once went on a first date with a girl and ended up spending the evening at the police station. No, it all started because of a plate of pasta, and then everything got out of hand. You won't believe what she did at the end of the date. It all started on a regular Saturday night. I met her through a dating app. You know, the swipe left, swipe right kind of thing. Her profile picture was a shot of her with a coffee cup, smiling mysteriously, and her bio just said, "Pasta is love. Pasta is life." At that moment, I thought, well, at least she has similar food taste to mine. We exchanged a few messages, then decided to meet up. I chose a small, quiet Italian restaurant with soft candlelight and soothing music, the classic kind of vibe for a first date. She arrived on time, wearing a red dress that looked very elegant, and I must admit, she was even more attractive in person than in her photos. Everything seemed perfect until the pasta came. I ordered spaghetti carbonara, and she chose lasagna. But when the dishes arrived, she stared at my carbonara and said, "Aren't you going to share any with me?" I laughed, thinking she was joking, so I replied, "Of course, but how about we swap some lasagna for it?" And here's where everything started to go off track. She frowned and coldly replied, "Carbonara is what I wanted from the beginning. You knew that." I said it in my messages. I remember her saying she really liked carbonara, but from that to claiming my dish as her legal property, that was a bit much. I still happily offered her a little, but she straight up dragged the entire plate toward her. I was stunned, not because I cared about the food, but because the way she acted, as if everything on the table belonged to her. I gently suggested that maybe we should share, and she sneered. Men are so petty. The initial excitement I felt started to shatter, but I still tried to stay polite and planned to finish the lasagna I had left. Then she started live streaming our date. Yes, she turned on her phone, flipped the camera to selfie mode, and said, "Hey guys, here's the guy I'm dating this week. Rate him." I was frozen in place. I stammered, "What are you doing?" She replied without batting an eye, "Content. I'm a TikToker. I need the engagement." And do you know what the worst part is? It was that live stream that got both of us taken to the police station. Not for anything serious, but because after that, something happened that I bet you wouldn't guess. While she was engaging with a few hundred TikTok viewers, one follower, somehow, figure out the restaurant's location from the background details, and reported to the police hotline that there was a kidnapping happening. I know it sounds ridiculous, but imagine me sitting there with a blank face while she zoomed in on my face and said things like, "Hey guys, do you think he looks good with me? Should I give him a chance?" If you were watching through the screen, it might actually look like I was being forced or vice versa. 15 minutes later, 2 police officers burst into the restaurant. I thought they were there to eat until they asked, "Is your name Try?" "Yes, that's me. What's going on? Please come with us." Someone reported that you're threatening a woman. I was stunned. She was surprised too, but she didn't turn off the live stream. The result? We were both invited to the police station to clarify the situation. On the way there, she turned to me and said something I will never forget. "Actually, this is kind of cool. The first time I've got content supported by the police." I thought I was dreaming. At the station, after extracting the video and doing a preliminary interrogation, the officers realized there was nothing serious, just a crazy date that got twisted by the internet. But then, just when it seemed like everything was about to end, she suddenly asked the police, "Would you mind if I shoot a few shots here? The corner by the wall has great lighting." I'm not kidding. She really took out her phone and started recording a new TikTok video with upbeat music, standing in front of the police station's logo, pulling a bad girl expression. A young officer tried to hold back his laughter, but eventually he couldn't help but burst out laughing. As for me, I just wanted to vanish from the earth at that moment. When we left the station, I turned to look at her one last time and said, "I don't think we're a match." She smiled brightly. "It's okay. I gained 10,000 new views tonight. Thanks for everything." I didn't respond. I just swore that from now on, I would check the social media profiles of anyone before agreeing to go on a date. And if you're wondering, yes, I still haven't eaten carbonara since that night. I thought the story had ended after that night. That I and that girl. We were forever parallel lines that would never meet again, each going on with our separate lives. I would stay away from TikTok, and she would continue being the queen of content. Until 3 months later, I was sitting in my usual coffee shop, working on my laptop, when a woman in a suit walked up to me, smiled, and asked, "Are you Try?" "Yes, that's me. What's going on?" She handed me a business card. It read, "Assistant Director of Casting, reality show, love, or viral. We saw the video from your date that night. It went viral big time. Do you know it was edited into a clip that got 2 million views? Before I could respond, she continued, and we'd like to invite you to be the main character for the next season of the show. A regular guy dating hot TikTokers, but in a way no one could predict. I sat there frozen for 10 seconds. Wait, that date was staged. She smiled. Not exactly. She is a real TikToker, but was invited to audition for the show. The date was real, but there was a hidden mission to test her natural reactions. And you exceeded expectations. You didn't run away, didn't get angry. The audience loved you. I gave a crooked smile. So what you're saying is that night I thought was a nightmare was actually a hidden casting session. Exactly. And the best part? If you agree to join, she'll come back in the first episode. I looked out the window. Life is truly strange. I once thought I was the victim of a terrible date. But turns out, I was the main character in a bigger game, and the audience was waiting to see how I'd react. I nodded. All right, but this time, let me eat my carbonara in peace first. The assistant laughed. You're already chosen. And remember, the cameras will start rolling as soon as you walk into the cafe. I sighed, adjusted my collar, and this time I was ready.